to the Truth Seeking Network. So I'm gonna do a video today about basically Christianity and how it came to America. But also, I just want to show you all the old ancient depictions of America. Okay, so I just did a video basically dealing with the fact that our people were always here, right? And that America was stolen from our people. And we were being mislabeled and reclassified and misclassified as Negroes, as Black people, as coloreds. I mean, our names kept changing because all the nations from Europe came over to America and they took over our land. And they sent over armies from Spain, from Britain, from Germany, from the Dutch, the French, you name it, Russia. Everybody came here and they took over our land. And now we've been misclassified as Africans. Like they went to, like they went and got us from Africa. But all real pictures of ancient Americans or indigenous Americans or the Aboriginal Americans depicted our people. And it's foolishness to think that you go to all when I was in the Navy and we went to the Pacific Islands. The Pacific Islanders, they were melanated people. They had froze and everything, just like us. And the people in Australia, they are melanated people. And the Africans that are in Africa, they are melanated people. And all through the Caribbean, they were melanated people. So what makes you think that Europeans came and just brought us and went to Africa and just brought us over to America like none of us were here? But we were everywhere else in the world. Dark melanated people were everywhere else in the world. It makes no sense. And for people to believe the foolishness. But yet all the ancient depictions of people of America showed our people because we are the Americans and our land was stolen. And that's why we've been remixed. People always wondered why. What is it about us? They hate it because of our skin color. No, it's not about our skin color because they know who we are. And they're in fear because we're going to wake up to find out who we are. Because our people were murdered and slaughtered. The biggest Holocaust in history happened in America, nowhere else. And there was a war from Europe. And it was black nobles also that came along and they wiped our people out to the point where they misled and retrained the children to believing and following the European ways. And that's what I'm going to show in this video because they brought Christianity and their way of life to us after we've been brainwashed and wiped out. Now, again, they could never wipe all of us out. Understand that. And the reason why, because there was millions of us all over here. We had communities still all over the place. And that's why they kept bringing in European immigrants from Europe all throughout those years, from the 1600s to 1700s. And the majority of them came between the late 1800s and the 1900s. That's when the most of them came in. And that's when a lot of our cities and stuff were burnt down that we had remaining left. Or they were just simply taken over. And we would simply just run out of our own places. But we were friendly people. We didn't have armies here because we had everything in abundance. And we wasn't warrior like people. We wasn't warring. We used our bow and arrows for hunting. Okay, that's what our people we used our bow and arrows for mostly just hunting. And so when those ships came with armed men in Europe and places like that, they were used to fighting and warring all the time. We didn't have to fight because we had everything in abundance. America was an abundant land as it is today. And that's why everybody wants to come to America today because the abundance of it. And we had cities here. Don't be fooled by the way these people are dressed. They had cities and buildings. It wasn't just nothing here when it was just woods. We didn't live in teepees. We weren't the squatters. We didn't live in teepees. Those are the people that came from the Siberia that came over to America. Some of those people. But we had the cities. We built. And we were civilized here. And so these ancient pictures show us. Now I'm just going to click on some of these things. And you can see These are not the so-called Native Americans that they show today. These are not Native Americans. And what I mean by Native Americans, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, the ones you see in Hollywood. Look at that. They would, if this was Hollywood, they would call this person uh, a African American or a black person, or he would just be just plain black. You see the peace pipe in his hand? He's smoking a peace pipe. Why? Because tobacco was grown in Virginia. See the smoke coming out of his mouth right here? See the feathers on his head? See the colonial ship in the background? Every time when they show a colonial ship, they always depict our people with the colonials. So where was the Native Americans in here? They didn't show people look like the Native Americans today. No, no, not the Hollywood Indians, but they showed our people. So in all these pictures, you always see the same, always the same. Look, see, these are real. This is what they depicted. See the feather skins. Look, see the fro, see the hair, the dark skin. See, and here's the colonial with their guns. But where was the Native American at? The ones that claim to be the ones that the government shows on TV that they are the Indians, that they are the American Indians who they saw. Because Giovanni Verrazano and none of the explorers saw people that look like them. They all, and they tell you that people look just like us. And you know why? Because we are still here. These are our ancestors. We are still here. Let's see if I can get back to that page. Let's look at another one. Here we go. Look at this. Originally in the John Carter Brown Library at Brown University. Look at this. See this? Look at the froze. See the hair? So, where was the Native Americans? Where were the Native Americans people? If the Native Americans could claim that, and say, then they're talking about, that we're trying to steal their culture, but we're not stealing their culture. They're stealing our culture because we have always been here. We set the trends. Even in music, hip hop, we created all forms of music. We did that. We created all these inventions. We had cities already before Europeans arrived here, except we were not warlike people. We were friendly to them. And they sent in armies. And this is the history that they don't want you to, they don't want people to know about. And especially, they want to know that it was us, our people here. Look at this. Does these look like the Native Americans to you? The ones that they show on TV? Hmm? The ones that's riding on the horses, playing cowboy and Indian? No, this is not those people. That's not who they depicted. And this is America. So when did you learn this in school at, huh? And our people were subjugated in our own lands. That's where we become prisoners of war in our own lands. Look at this. Let's see. There you go. A hunting party. See? And look, these are our people. But when they show a Native American, they show somebody else. They always show somebody else but us. And here you see they're bringing us Christianity. You see that? So y'all hope our people see this. Who's bringing Christianity to us? See? Now they becoming Christians. Here's the Catholic priest, whatever you want to call him, and he's bringing, here's the cross, and they got our people holding the cross now, and they bringing Christianity to the people. See, Christianity was not our thing. They brought Christianity to us. See that? They brought Christianity to us. It wasn't ours. We wasn't practicing Christianity here. It was something that was brought to us. Let me see if I can find more. So here we go. Look at this. Here we go again. Now here's the British. You see, colonial ship in the background. Let's make this bigger. I want y'all to understand that these are the people, our people, that they stole America from. So when I read it in my TikTok, and I showed y'all in the TikTok that um, in Virginia, that our land was taken by force, violence, and trickery. They just stole our land from us, and they murdered us and took our land. And we were friendly to these people. So they came over, and they came from here. Here's their ship. They came on the land, and here's our people. So again, where are the natives? Hmm? Where are the so-called Aboriginal Americans at? I mean, the Native Americans at? Where are they? But they continue to show lies after lie. And they're going to continue to teach those lies because they control the curriculum in the schools. Not us, they do. So when they came to America, that's who they saw. It was us. It was always us. Look, but how come you never learned about this in school? See, we were just taught we were just slaves. That we just came off this they that brought us in from Africa. See, you can tell the people that once you wipe out their families, and then you train the kids when you put them in your schools, and you tell them, "Hey, we brought you from Africa," which is a flat out lie, by the way. But I'm just showing to show y'all what really happened back here. But these pictures, these pictures tell a whole story of what the people really look like and what was really going on at the time when the colonialists came to America. All right. So, like I said, this video, I just want to, there's another picture I'm kind of looking for. I'm trying to find it because I want to show you something else too. But let's see. I have to scroll. Like I saw part of it, but I wanted to get the full picture. Look at this, y'all. See that? There's America and there's Europe. So why didn't America look like a Native American? Hmm? Now, let me show y'all what a Native. I know y'all probably wondering because it's hard. So there's a difference, a huge difference between a Native American and an Indigenous American. Here's a look, Mississippi Indians. See that? And this is in North America. So it's right at the bottom, North America. And this is Mississippi. Look at how they pick. Now, where you ever see an Indian in America that look like this? They don't show them no more. You know why? Because this person would be considered a black person or a Negro or African American. See? So the history books is lies. The real history is that we have always been in this land and we have always been here. I just want to find that one picture though, because I wanted to show y'all. I probably run across it. I don't want to make this thing too long. See if I can find it. Let's see. There's black people on there. Okay, I don't want to see that. That's fine. All right. We know. We know who we are. Okay, we know that we are the people that have always been on this land. But there was a picture that I wanted to find, and I cannot find it now. But as y'all see as I'm scrolling, just look at the pictures and y'all can see the real American people and pictures of real Americans. These were our people. These are our people. And that's still us today. We just been misclassified now and Europeanized in the brain that we don't understand our own, who we are. But that's why our people have been placed in the ghettos and on the poor places because they don't never want us to remember where we came from or who we really are. American. Let's see, and let's blow this up. Okay. I just try to see what I could see in the picture. See, he was given the cross. See the cross in the hand? But they always depicted us, but they show who the American really is. Real American tribes, real American people. See? But see, again, there's no such thing as a black Indian, y'all. And see, that's the thing we got to understand. These are misnomers because the American is the copper colored people, and they are the only Americans. We are the only Americans, and we have always been here. But now you're just black people. We've been labeled as colored or black and just put in a separate category by ourselves. Let's see. Find that picture because it was telling. I had it the other day. So I'm gonna put this on pause and I'm gonna find that picture. Let me pause this real quick. I'll get back with y'all. All right, so this is the picture I wanted to show y'all. Now, I'm gonna blow this up a little bit. You see it says America down here. I hope y'all can see that. It says America down here, right? Now, look, I'm gonna blow this up a little bit. You can see, look at who's bringing in the cross to our people. I want to show y'all something. See that? Here's the Europeans on the colonial ship bringing the cross. They're bringing the cross to us here. See? We're offering them. Now listen, I want to show you something. See? Dark skin, brown skin, right? See the pale, 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 pale. See the brown, dark shadows depicted? They're coming off the ships, and our people are bringing them gifts. See that? Friendly, right? Let's bring it bigger. See if I can make this bigger. I don't want to make it too big. Now, you see, bow and arrow, brown skin, darker skin, brown skin here, bow. Here's the bow in the hand right here. Let's look at this. You see, our people are here. The Europeans are coming in, bringing in the cross, Christianity. And now I'm gonna zoom in on this bottom part. You see where it says America down here. Now I can't read this writing down here. Maybe somebody else can, but let's see. Let's get the bottom of this page. There you go. But it says, I don't know if that's $25,000. Somebody bought it, maybe. I don't know. But let's just scoot over some. Can y'all read any of this writing? Let's go up some. Right there. Slide it over. I don't know what that says. I'm gonna pause it there so maybe y'all can read it. Hopefully, someone can read that. Because it looked like a bunch of scribble to me. But this is America. See that? And again, you don't see any natives Americans with us, do you? No Native Americans. They depict as a Native American today. Each time you see the colonial people, you're always saying with us, our people. So I'm gonna put it right there. So maybe somebody can read that. I can just see is Chickabus, Eminus, Pandit, America. I don't know what that means, dives. I can't read that. But that's how what they wrote back then. But it showed this is an old picture. So this is a real depiction of and that's another point. This shows that this is an old picture of back in the day when it actually depicted of our people and an interaction with the Europeans when they came arrived in America. See? Brown skin. Look at the feathers in the head. These are the American Indians. But yet, when the Native Americans claim that these people came and stole their land, and they were the ones that were raided and ransacked. But it wasn't them; it was us. That's why they made a treaty with them today. Now, that's why they paying them now. They paying them off to be as the Indians. Say that they were the Native people here. But you can see in all the pictures, all the real pictures of the back in the day, it was people that look like us. It's always been our people. Look what she's wearing around her waist. Necklaces and beads, even all the way down to let's see, the ankle bracelets. Look, ankle bracelets way back in the day. See that? Way back in the day. So make this smaller now. Zoom in. Now look at around the neck. She got that look like a fox head or something around here. And look like a bear foot or claw. Like almost like a rabbit's foot, but a bare foot. She has something in her hand. Here's a bow. There's beads around her arm. Yep. So I just wanted to show y'all now, basically. So you show you in each picture, the Europeans are bringing Christianity, the cross, over to us in America. And especially, I want my people to see this. Because what I'm going to show you next, I'm going to read, and now we're going to see what happened in America and why you're worshiping Christianity today. Okay? How did it get here? It came from them. They brought it to us. We didn't bring it to them. This is not our culture. It comes from them. They brought that here. And this one brother kicked me off his. I was on TikTok the other day. This brother kicked me off of there because I said that Jesus wasn't real. And he kicked me off his TikTok. I laughed at him though. He really thought he did something by blocking me. But he don't understand the foolishness and the subjugation of his own mind that he don't understand what happened. But I'm hoping one day that he'll wake up. I'm hoping that our people will wake up and come out of this and understand what really happened here. That's what I'm trying to present in these videos to y'all can see that not only we are the indigenous Americans, but our stuff was stolen from us. Now, I'm going to show you the Native Americans today who claim to be Native Americans. These are the people I'm talking about. Okay? All right. See? Now, none of these people existed during that time frame. Now you go back. Now these people right here are the ones now claiming that the United States recognizes these people as American Indians today. Now they're just as pale as a white person almost. I mean, it's not to be offensive, but it is what it is, right? You can see that it originally applied to who? The copper color races found here by Europeans. All right. So, but they didn't find us here. Like again, we can't be found when we were the owners of the land. So you didn't find us here. We were already. You can't. It's like they came from another planet, and and they just find it. Look at what I found. Or you found. Oh, look what I found. A quarter on the ground. No. Oh, look what I found. Like our people didn't know. We've been living here for millennia. We've been living here for thousands of years since the beginning, and here they come and saying they found us. See, to them, because they didn't know that people were there. So it was new to Europeans, but not to us because we were already here. And look at these people. These people were nowhere. You see no depictions of any of these people, but yet they walk around claiming to be the Native Americans, and the United States recognized these people as the Native people. Look at this cat. He's nothing but a European. He could have came off the ship the same as anybody else. And I'm not trying to be mean, but it's factual. He could have came off the ship with them, and you would have never known the difference. But yet, there's no way he's a Native American, or excuse me, Aboriginal American. No way he's copper colored. And this is simple. These people were nowhere in there. Nobody looked like them. And yet these are Native Americans. But you know, a Native American and the Aboriginal Americans are two different people. They're not the first people in America. These are not the people what Giovanni Verrazzano and all the explorers saw when they got to America, as you've seen in the photos of the pictures back in the day when they drew pictures and painted pictures of the real American Indians, the real American Indians, my people, who are now been misclassified and say we are the only people in the world whose names keep changing. We are the only people in the world who went from Negro, colored, Indian, black, mulatto, you name it, colored, uh, Afro American. Now we are African Americans. And none of us came from Africa, but the people who come to America today. Look at this. Now you tell me, did anybody that looked like him? He looked like the person that came, he looked like one of the Europeans that came off the boat, that came on and said they discovered America. Here's another one. But see, this is what Hollywood do to you, it lies to your vision. So now because TV told you that this was the Indian would look like, because they would never say it was us. You think America would ever admit the fact that this land belonged to the so-called Negroes, so-called melanated people? No. So all those places from Europe, from Germany, France, Britain, English, the Spanish, the French, they all came here and took over this land together. They all took over our land. And then they sold bought pieces and parcels of land back to each other. Look at this. These people were nowhere to be found. But yes, she's a Native American, or she's the Aboriginal American. This is what this country portrays as Aboriginal Americans. They put these people on reservations and they paying them to be, and a lot of them have European blood in them. They're Europeans. Look at this cat. That's an American Indian right there. Look at his blue eyes. I mean, he looked like Noah Webster from the Webster Dictionary, don't he? Now, none of these people are copper colored. Look at them. These are not, but yet this is what they show as a Native American today. These people are playing a role. These people are not the people that America was taken from. It was taken from us. Look at these people. Look at this. I mean, oh my gosh. And then they put a fake history. It's so fake. The history is so fake. All right. So y'all seen what the Native Americans look like, right? Like for Native Americans today, y'all saw what they look like. I saw that's what I'm talking about when I mean that. That those people were never here. Look, these supposed to be Native Americans today. Famous Native Americans. When did they get to be Native Americans? How did they become Aboriginal Americans? See, this is the hijack of our culture and who we are. None of them are copper color at all. And yet they claim them to be the Native Americans. And this is sad. They didn't look nothing like this. So this is a travesty to us, to when you got these people portraying to be us. And the United States government, who created these people, is recognizing them as the Native Americans today. When we know they didn't look like that at all. That's a far cry from what they really look like. Because even Noah Webster said the same thing, that they were what? Originally applied to who? Us. The copper color race is found here by Europeans, right? So now let's go back to, let's see, original definition of an American. Okay, let's go to. So listen, let's get this one more time for everybody who people who way in the back of the room don't understand it. The original etymological definition of an American referred to a native of the Americas encompassing both the Aboriginal peoples and later residents of European descent. See, originally encompassing who? The Aboriginal peoples, right? Who are the Aboriginal people? The word America comes from the name America, which in turn derived from America Vespucci. Okay, I'm not gonna get that. Um, America meant a person from the Western Hemisphere, specifically the Aboriginal people discovered by Europeans. So who? Specifically the Aboriginal peoples. They didn't say the native peoples, right? The Aboriginal peoples. They are the first people. Aboriginal means from the beginning, from the first, right? Over time, the meaning evolved over time. American also coming to denote residents of North America, particularly those of European descent, and later specifically referring to citizens of the United States. So now the Europeans now, once they came and took over, once they stole the land, then they became the Americans. But originally applied to whom? The Aboriginals or the copper colored brown, like me, right? It applied to us. The word in the 1570s, the word American appeared in the 1570s, originally meaning one of the Aboriginal peoples discovered in the Western Hemisphere by Europeans. Say that again. Now we know Aboriginal people are dark skinned people. What I just showed you of the Native Americans is not talking about them. They are not dark skinned people. Some of them were just as pale as Europeans because they are mixed with Europeans. And those people are not the original people had that been on this land. But originally, the definition states in the 1570s, originally applied to the Aboriginals discovered here by the Europeans, right? In the 1640s, the sense of pertaining to the residents of North America of European, originally British descent, recorded by the 1640s. So now it's starting to change over from the Aboriginals to the Europeans. But start now the Europeans are now becoming Americans. But you cannot become an American unless you are from the land. You can't come from Europe and then become an American. Okay? That's a misnomer. Only the Americans can be the people who come from the land, the Aboriginals, our people. The sense of residents of North America, European, originally British descent is from 1765. The word American adjective appeared in the 1590s, meaning pertaining to the Western Hemisphere and its Aboriginal inhabitants. So it was talking about the Aboriginal inhabitants, right? Later, the term came to be associated with the United States of America. Okay, so let's get to Webster's, right? I did this in the last video, but I got to do it again. Now, those people we just saw as Native Americans almost look similar to him. Their skin tone and everything, just like him, like Noah Webster. But look at what the definition states. American and Native of America originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper color races found here by Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. And why was that? Because they raped, pillaged, and destroyed and stole our land. They put us under subjugation. They gave us Christianity, and they destroyed and murdered and slaughtered a lot of our people. So now they took over the land, and then now they became the Americans. And then we became misnomers, black people, colored, pushed off on the side as more and more Europeans arrived in America. See, this is the history that they don't want to show. This is the history that nobody wants to tell. They want to just follow along what they've been talking about now. But that's all a lie. This history is lies. So that history are really, see, applied to us. And we have always been here. And now our people are waking up to the truth of this. This land was taken and stolen. It was stolen from us, the original people. Okay, so now let me show you how Christianity came here and what happened. Let's get that next. I hope I'm showing y'all the truth of this. I hope y'all seeing it. So I'm basically trying to wake my people up because on my channel, the Truth Seeking Network, I proved to y'all that Christianity was false. I proved y'all that on my channel. I got so many videos that I have out already showing about the resurrection, deception, the virgin birth, all that, you know. But the only way to get y'all to understand is to take y'all back because our people truly believe that the Bible, that Christianity is ours, something that we embraced, something that belonged to us. And you don't understand what happened back in the day to your ancestors. And so now you're lost and you've been subjugated in your brain. As in Deuteronomy 20, this in Deuteronomy 28, right? Deuteronomy 28, I think it's verse 48 or something like that, that states that, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And you should be in want of all things. In nakedness, I'm messing it up, but it basically, you're going to be brainwashed. They're going to put it like a dog. They put a chain around your neck, right? They put a chain around your neck. And then after the dog has been trained, you can let that dog off you can take that chain off because now that dog has been brainwashed or trained. So that dog won't run. It won't go anywhere. Why? Because you've trained that dog. You put that choke chain around his neck. And now when you let him free, he doesn't understand that he's really free because he's under your control. And that's exactly what happened to us as a people. And I'm trying to get y'all to see that. So the only way to get y'all to understand is to take y'all back in the day. So here we are. Okay, forced conversion to Christianity in America. During European colonization of the Americas, particularly in the 16th and 17th centuries, there were instances of forced conversion of indigenous populations to Christianity. See, forced. Often through coercion and the suppression of indigenous religions and cultures. Here's more details. European colonizers, including the Spanish, French, and the British, the same people that I've been naming, sought to establish their dominance and control over the newly colonized territories. In other words, they took over America and they wanted to put dominance over you. They saw Christianity as a tool to civilize and control the indigenous populations, justifying their actions with religious zeal. Mhm. Colonizers often forced indigenous people to attend religious services. See, they forced us to. Now y'all do it willingly. Y'all willingly go to church on Sundays. You grab your Bibles, you get your suits and everything, and you go in there and you praising Jesus. And you don't understand the same Jesus that these people brought you. They brought Jesus to you. Jesus didn't come to save you. It came from your colonizers. And now you go to church willingly. Y'all singing every movie we got a church, we got a church scene. And you can't tell none of these brothers or sisters that Jesus is not real because they're ready to fight you. They're ready to beat you down and don't understand that they've been brainwashed and that our and your own ancestors died and were forced to accept this religion. Colonizers often forced indigenous people to attend religious services, learn Christian doctrines, and abandon their traditional beliefs and practices. And that's how we lost ourselves. You understand that? Everything that we knew about ourselves is gone because of the colonizers that came to America and stole our identity and who we really are, our language, what our traditions and our practices that our ancestors were doing. We lost who we are. But this was done to us on purpose so that we'll forget and not know that this was our land. Now, if you do this after generation, the children won't know who they are anymore. They're going to believe whatever the colonizers told them about themselves because the colonizers now are controlling the school systems. They're controlling the teachings. And that's what's been going on today. So now we're on the bottom in our own land. And most of us don't even believe it's our own land because a lot of us believe that we believe their story that we came over here from Africa on slave ships, that they brought us here. But that's what they would do. They control the history. It's his story. And this was a mad. This thing was all these people from Europe were coming to America. This wasn't just from Britain or Germany or France. It was all of them coming here. It was like this was the biggest war ever. They came over here with warriors. They came over here to take over our stuff. United States never bought America. America was just plain out taking over. I mean, it's sad that you call Africa your motherland when your motherland is right here. How many of our people died? We're not talking about the Jim Crow. We're not talking about the lynches and the murderers. We're talking about how many of our ancestors died here. How many buildings and bridges and roads are built on top of our people? And this history is not told. Nowhere did you learn this in school because we didn't. Missionaries and colonizers actively destroy indigenous religious artifacts. See that? Missionaries and colonizers actively destroyed indigenous religious artifacts, sacred sites, and cultural practices, replacing them with Christian symbols and rituals. And rituals like taking that cracker and that blood ritual that you do, what you call communion. See, this was not ours. That's why Jesus ain't coming back to save you. Y'all think the rapture's gonna happen. Y'all believing in the Antichrist and all that. It's all subjugation of your mind. You go to church every Sunday. You sit up in the pulpits. You put your best Sunday best on, and they laughing at you. The colonizer who gave it is laughing at you. Why do you think there's a church on every corner? Because they brought Christianity, just like I showed you in the beginning of this video. They brought the cross to you. They brought the Catholicism to us. I can't even say the word, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Catholicism. I can't even say the word. Catholicism, whatever you want to call it. They brought it to us, though, right? And yet my people argue and fuss and fight against me when I used to be in the church for 40 years. I believe I know everything they know. I've learned everything they've learned. I went to a Christian school. My father was a pastor. Okay. I taught, I sung, I ushered, I did everything in that church. I was saved. I was baptized. I did it all that. But I renounced all of it. I renounced every bit of it. And I'm proud to renounce that. And I'm not a Christian. And I'm proud not to be one because I know the truth now. And I broke it down on my videos on here as well. And the problem is people don't want, they get so mad, they don't even want to watch a video. You get so mad and you're so self-righteous in your mess that you won't even read the book that you're supposed to be believing in. You just believe, but you don't read it. Once you read the book, you will understand. I broke it down. I laid it out for you. All you got to do is get your Bible and watch the video like I asked you to do. And you can see if I'm lying or if they lying to you. Now we're reading it what they did to our ancestors right here. This is not those native people. This is us that they did. This is us they did that to. Because you know where you see Native American churches at. And I'm talking about those people, you know, the Hollywood Indian people, the one that they claim to be the Indians. Where do you see their churches at? But you see black churches all over because we were the ones that were subjugated. And I said black for a reason because that's the only thing y'all gonna recognize. You think you're black people. No, you are the Americans. But you call yourself black. You call yourself African American. And you're proud to call yourself these names, these newly made up names. You never asked one time why do your name keep changing. In the 60s, you were colored. In the 50s, you were Negroes. In the 70s, you became black and Afro Americans. And then in the 1980s, you became African Americans. And you never asked why. But we just call our name, we call ourselves these names and we accept them. But let's keep reading what it says, because this is a travesty what they did to us. Missionaries and colonizers actively destroyed indigenous religious artifacts, sacred sites, and cultural practices, replacing them with Christian symbols and rituals. In some cases, conversion was enforced through threats of violence and other forms of coercion, particularly in areas where indigenous populations resisted colonial rule. And you know what? That would be me today. And it should be you too. But you are a Christian. You want to be a Christian. You go to church every Sunday. You listen to these pastors talking about this fake Jesus who don't even exist for real. The brother kicked me off his YouTube, his TikTok page the other day because he was in reading something on John. I told him it was something about Jesus said, and how can Jesus say something? How can a person speak who never existed? How can a person resurrect from the dead who never existed? If Christ be not risen, then our faith is in vain. What's that? 1 Corinthians 15:14 or something like that. If Christ be not risen, then our faith is in vain. And guess what? A person can't rise again if they never existed. But y'all scared to say that because you think you're gonna be struck down from heaven by Jesus all of a sudden when somebody is Jesus. Y'all don't even know who Serapis is. Y'all don't even know where your salvation came from. But I broke it all down on my channel. The origins of salvation is on my page. All you gotta do is scroll down my videos and watch the video. Get your freaking Bible and watch it. But you won't do that because you're in your feelings. But now we're reading it to you what happened to our people and that Christianity was given to us. There was no Jesus coming to save you. They came by force. The Catholic Church, all of them was involved in this. They killed off our elders. And then they taught the young children Christianity. And then when you train them that way, guess what? When they grow up, they're going to train their kids that way. And all of everything that about ourselves now is gone. Their history is gone because they don't know it anymore because you killed off the elders. And you sitting up in that church on Sunday. Anyway, let's keep going. Spanish colonization, the Spanish conquistadors and colonial administrators, with the support of the Catholic Church, actively sought to convert indigenous populations in South America and Mesoamerica, and that's why you see so many people down there with the into and Mary and the Catholicism. They conquered this whole land, y'all. They conquered all of us. English settlers in New England, while not always using overt force, pressured indigenous populations to convert to Christianity, often through the creation of prayer towns where Native Americans were expected to adopt Christian practices. Were expected to adopt Christian practices. In the 19th and 20th centuries, the U.S. government established Indian boarding schools where Native American children were forcibly removed from their families and communities and subjected to assimilation policies, including religious conversion. You see that? And y'all think this was y'all's. It's not, people. Man, this is terrible. Anyway, let me say that again. I'm gonna read that one more time. In the 19th and 20th centuries, the U.S. government established Indian boarding schools where Native American children, talking about us, y'all. I don't want to say Native American, we say Aboriginal Americans, were forcibly removed from their families and communities and subjected to assimilation policies, including religious conversion. The forced conversion and suppression of indigenous religions and cultures had a profound and lasting impact on indigenous communities, contributing to the loss of cultural identity, traditions, and languages. We lost it all. And y'all sit up on church every Sunday, and y'all don't even know what you're doing. Y'all think it's ours. You think you're doing something else. You're doing Christmas, right? You think all that stuff belongs to us, and none of it belonged to us at all. It had nothing to do with us whatsoever. So I'm not gonna make this video that long, but I want to read a little bit more, right? By the 1630s, the English settlers wanted more and more Wampanoag land. They forced Wampanoag and other tribal nations of the region to convert to Christianity. What did they do? They forced them to do it. They created early reservations or Indian districts to move Aboriginal people off the land that they wanted. Okay? This is terrible. This is so terrible. Y'all can look at this page. I'm not going to read this, but I hope it's big enough for y'all to see. I'm just going to skip back over. Okay? Let's see. So, who brought Christianity? Let's see. As in the age, said who brought Christianity to the Aboriginal Americans. Now, listen what they show. See, this is a false picture right here. I'm going to show y'all this. Now, listen to this, y'all. Now, could y'all see that? You see the hijack? Do you see the hijack? Now, nowhere did the native people look like. Look, they're the same color as what? The Europeans. See? Same color as the Europeans now. You see the hijack? You see what they did? So they wanted to change the scenario. They whitewashed this. Instead of making it look like us, they put these people here. And here's the English, or the whatever you call them, right? And here are the so-called native people now. But these are all fake because none of them look that way. And this is how they whitewashed us in history. But we know these native people, they're not mostly Christians, right? You see black churches all over, so-called black churches everywhere, right? And let's keep going. I just wanted to show y'all that picture. Anyway, so as the age of discovery unfolded, Spanish and French Catholics were the first to infiltrate native, I don't say Aboriginal lands beginning in the 16th century. Now, again, there are no people that look like them that were here. None. The government sponsored boarding schools. Christian missionaries worked to convert Aboriginal children who were often referred to as savages. Generations later, uh, Aboriginal Americans who chose Christianity were said to have sold out to white people. In some circles, they are still considered traitors. And see, now who used the word sold out? Does that sound like them or sound like us? We didn't want to saying somebody, yeah, man, you sold out. You sold out to white people. That's us talking. It's not them. Okay. Who introduced Christianity to America? Christianity spread to the Americas when the Spanish and the Portuguese sent expeditions to the New World. Part of their mission was to spread the gospel to the indigenous people they encountered. Later, the Puritans seeking religious freedom brought Christianity to America. Y'all see this? See, who set out to convert indigenous people to Christianity? The Catholic Church. During the Age of Discovery, inaugurated a major effort to spread Christianity into the New World and to convert the indigenous peoples of the Americas and other indigenous peoples. See that? So, like I said, that's why they show the Pope on everything. They show the Pope on our TV when he's making a move. They always talking about if the Pope is, I think right now he's going through something right now. He's in a hospital, so they put it all across the news. And like we really care about the Pope. These people came and stole our land. They all worked together and stole this country and made us black people and put us in the projects. And then we don't even own the projects. They still own the projects. You still renting out. You still renting in the projects, which is the real reservations. And y'all, and yet the majority of people in the projects go to church every Sunday because there's a church, and the pastor always trying to get them with that Bible in his hand, trying to get them to go to church. Yeah, you doggone Skippy. I speak out against Christianity, and I'm not ashamed of it because I used to be in it and I know what it's all about. Now I know the truth about it. I know the truth about the book. I can break the book down as you see on my videos. So yeah, I got the knowledge now, and I know where it came from, and it didn't originate from our own people. Okay. It's not, Jesus is not coming back. He's not going to be coming back in the rapture, coming back. He's not going to pick you up and take you out of this world. You're not going to rise again. Nobody has ever, everybody who passed away has never come back. Everybody who's passed away has always been gone. Then none of them ever came back. And y'all know this to be true. But yet, you're going to believe that little story. And then there's four gospels in that book, and all four resurrection stories are different. And I say that all the time, but none of y'all want to see it. All you got to do is pick up your book and read it. You got the same characters doing different things in each story. And yet, y'all don't read the book that you have in your own hand. It's right there. Just read the book. Read the four resurrection stories: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It's real simple. Just read them. And you can see the characters are doing different things. In one character in the book of John, Jesus said, "Don't touch me." But I think it's the book of Matthew, he said, "All hell." They grabbed him by the legs and everything. And he said, "All hell. Go tell my brethren. Go tell my brethren that you seen me." And then in the what? It wasn't Luke. Mary and them, they were too afraid to tell him. So they didn't tell nobody. You got people doing different things and in different stories. Jesus is doing something different. Every character is doing something different. A lot of characters are added. But the point blank it is, you got four different gospel resurrection stories. You got one with an angel descending from heaven. You got one with two angels all of a sudden. You got one of the stones already rolled away. You got one with Mary and John. She's all by herself. She just came to the tomb for no reason at all. Why? Because Nicodemus and Joseph of Arimathea, they wrapped the body of Jesus with 100 pounds of spices. But in the other ones, they came early to the tomb Mary and them came early to Rapids body and spices. But anyway, it's foolishness. But because y'all believe, y'all don't read. Y'all wait for the pastor to sit in front of y'all to tell y'all, and whatever he comes out of his mouth with, y'all just say amen to it, start hollering, hooping and hollering, and amen, and singing a bunch of songs about Jesus, how much you love him. Then you return back to your ghetto. It's pitiful. We have to wake up. Supposedly, the colonists would pay the native people for their labor and convert them to Christianity. In reality, the natives were either forced to accept Christianity or were given little or no religious instructions, were cruelly treated, and in effect reduced to slaves. And that's where we were, prisoners of war in our own land. And you see, they were forced with cruelty to follow Christianity. Don't y'all get it? And now y'all willingly doing it because you're brainwashed. You're brainwashed. And the last thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read that one in Deuteronomy for y'all. I'm gonna get it real quick. Deuteronomy 28. I'm gonna read it to y'all. King James Version. Okay? And this is what happened to us. And then I'm gonna end this video. Here it is. It says this: Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And that's what happened to us. He sent the enemy to this land. And and here it is, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And the enemy, talking shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Now I'm going to type that into Google real quick, and I'm getting off of here. I'm going to show y'all. Let's go get an image of that. I'm going to put in yoke of iron around neck, and we're going to look at the images. And we're going to see who did this happen to. Because y'all refuse to wake up. You refuse to see the truth. You're going to keep going to church every Sunday, and you're going to keep stepping on your ancestors, the one who was cruelly forced, who were enslaved to follow Christianity. And it's only done to keep you subjugated in the mind, to keep you docile, to keep you weak. That's why they all, anytime an event happens in America, when it's protesting, what they do, they always pull up them black pastors, don't they? And I said black for a reason now. I don't like using that word, but I call them black pastors because that's what they are. And they come on there and they start praying in the name of Jesus. And CNN, they call the pastors, well, pastors, what y'all gonna do? And they get the pastors to calm the people down because that's what they were trained to do. That's their job, to keep your flock under control now. Make sure you go to church. So we're going to type in yoke of iron around the neck, right? Of iron around the neck, right? Let's go to the images. Who is it showing, y'all? Hmm? Who got the yoke of iron around their neck? Hmm? Got the yoke of iron around their neck. Who did this happen to? See? He put a yoke of iron around your neck until he had destroyed thee. Now you're free, but you don't understand that you're free. See, that happened to us. See? They put the yoke of iron around your neck. And y'all still can't figure it out. Who the heck are they talking about? But yet you're gonna go to church on Sunday morning. Y'all gonna get up and go to church, grab your Bibles, and run and go Sunday school, pagan worship, pagan Christmas trees, pagan Easter bunny. We're about to go to Passover now. All because of a fake God that never existed, Jesus Christ, that they brought to you, that you are now worshiping, that you are crying and praying to. They got crosses at the graveyard because they brought Christianity here. They brought the crosses here. If you go to Germany, Europe, and all those places over there, guess what? You're gonna see crosses. So no wonder you're a Christian. And then you wonder why I don't believe. You tell me why you don't believe in Jesus? What are you not a Christian? Are you going to hell? Mm-mm. Y'all have to wake up. Anyway, this is the Truth Seeker Network. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I hope y'all wake up, and I hope y'all found something in this video to see the truth, okay? That's it. That's all I got to say. Check y'all on the next one. Peace till next time. Guess what? I'm out.